Ladies, gentlemen, Klingons and Romulans, welcome back to Star Trek Online. So here we are at the title screen for the Tribble test server. Once again, as always, I'm playing the Legacy of Romulus beta test on Tribble, and you can see here they finally got this all working nice and neat. This is the cool little character select screen now. Shows your current ship in the background, shows your current away team stationed here. And as you can see, I did a little tweaking on their costumes, a little bit with the hairstyles for a couple of the characters just to mix it up a little bit. Seeing what was available, and kind of color-coded them all. And pretty much digging the way it came out. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So we are going to log back in with Talar, and we should be able to pick up, finally, at that quest that I got completely stuck on there for a while. Because I have to head to Beta Thorador. So we're going to beam up, and we're going to head over to there. Also, for any of you that are actually listening to this anytime this weekend, today is currently... as I'm recording this, it is May the 9th? 10th. Friday, May the 10th. Starting today at noon Pacific Time, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and going through the rest of the weekend, it is the open beta for the Tribble test server. And they're doing stress testing. What that means is that it means that everybody who has access to Tribble should be able to make a character and make a Romulan on the test server. The other thing that it means is that if you play enough, I think it's only an hour, and I think you have to complete at least one quest, but I'm not positive. But anyways, if you play during the weekend, at least a little bit of time, you will get a beta test weekend reward at some point down the line. It's usually a few weeks to a month or two after the content launches. I think it was about a month after Season 7 launched that we got our Season 7 reward. And it's usually a Tribble, and sometimes you also get a rare or very rare duty officer. So kind of cool, kind of worth doing. You get a nice unique reward, and those Tribbles and those DOFs are not available at any other time. You can't get them any other way other than being in the beta test server, beta test weekend. So... worth doing if you get the chance. So, yeah, neutral no more. So I have sided with the Klingons. Run through all that crap, did it all over again, and now it's time to, well, have a little fun. As soon as this loads. Very slowly. So I'm going to pause. Be right back. Okay, and here we are. Neutral no more. Alright. So we've got the enemy Nausicaan that I have to defeat. And as before, this was... and I forgot, my stuff's all screwed up. I haven't fixed my bar yet. That is okay. But in the meantime, let's, there we go. There we go. You know what? For the time being, at least, let's move that over to here. There we go. Sorry, just fiddling with things. I should probably turn auto fire on for everything. Might help. Alrighty. And we've got more pirate ships. One thing you might notice this time, and I don't remember if I mentioned it in an earlier video, so my apologies if I'm duping up information. You might notice in the middle here where I have my had the plasma shockwave, I now also have a second power, quantum absorption. Each level of starship of warbird you get has a special ability. So the first level, the Tier 1 ability is the quantum shockwave. The Tier 2 ability is a shield and hull buff, I think. Yeah, shield regeneration and then temporary hit points. So you can either use it as a big area of effect and a DOT damage, or I can use it as a little healing for my ship, which is pretty nice. So we're just going to kill these. And the nice thing is, the one thing I like about playing somebody other than the Federation, I like the Federation, don't get me wrong. I like playing the hero. I like playing good guys. But this game kind of rubs me a little bit wrong with the Federation, just because being an MMO, your primary thing you do in the game is blow things up. And that's not, I mean, the Enterprise, and, you know, they always get into a lot of trouble, and they end up getting into a lot of fights. But that's not, you know, that's rarely what they're trying to do. They're usually just defending themselves, and a lot of times they don't actually destroy the other ships. Not if they can help it. Unless, of course, it's Deep Space Nine and you're in the Dominion War, but that's something completely different. And it's one of the reasons I loved Deep Space Nine. But, you know, the fact that I do so much combat just doesn't feel very Federation to me. And I understand why. I've said it before in other videos, you know. Unfortunately, the just go out, wander, and explore is, well, it's not a very good mass-market game. It can be a very interesting game. There's some indie game I was reading about that sounds really kind of cool, but at the same time, it also kind of gives me that, what? Why would I play this feeling? And it's this game where you basically just travel around this graveyard and read gravestones. And that's it. There's no other gameplay. There's no combat, no mechanics. You just read these gravestones and, you know, see what sort of stories the gravestones are telling. You know, figuring out things about, you know, who died when and how they died and, you know, the quotes and stuff on the gravestones. And that's kind of neat because you see a lot of video games that do something along those lines. That have those little graveyards in them, and it's always kind of neat to check out the graveyards and see what's written on them. I mean, Warcraft's done it, Fallout's done it, all kinds of games have done it. So that sort of stuff can be fun. And we're all done. So games where you're just where exploration is the end all and be all of the game can be interesting, but I don't think it's interesting to a large enough section of population. And it certainly would not be interesting in the long run. I could not put in 60, 80, 120 multiple days, hours into this game if that's all it was. I would be bored out of my skull. And I probably wouldn't play very long, which, you know, for an MMO is not a good thing. You don't want to be losing players. Alright, I got to go to Century of Valar at New Romulan Command. Oh, nope, never mind. I'm talking to her now. I have a new mission for you on behalf of the Republic. Trace the Iridian fighter. Okay. So, anyways, as I was saying, I think that doing that would be a lot of... I think the exploration stuff would be kind of neat, but it would only be neat in the short term. And I wish there was more of that for Federation gameplay, because it feels silly that that's what I do. I go in and blow up everybody. That's that seems to be the sum total of my diplomatic abilities. Except for very rare cases where I get to actually try to negotiate, and even those, half the time break down into firefights. So it's nice to play a race like the Romulans, a faction where they are warriors. They are combat is how they handle things. So for me, it's a little less immersion breaking when I can just go in and wreck things. Because I don't feel like I'm playing wrong, if that makes any sense. Oh, that's what that is. I do need to go to New Romulus, so let's do that first. Because I want to check that out a little bit. And I can show you that. Because you get the first compliment, which is your duty officers. They're changing that up from the current live game, in that you no longer get your duty officers at level 7. They're mixing it up, and now you don't get your duty officers until level 10 or 11. I think it looks like it's 11. And of course, come on. Alright, the auto nav on this is a little wonky, I'm noticing. Not everything wants to automatically fly to where you tell it to. I had a quest the other day. I had to go to Gorindon, or Galorndon, up in the top right corner of the screen of the map. And I had to go to Gamma Eridon for the second part of the mission. And it had the little arrow icon next to the name of the mission that says, hey, go auto nav there. I clicked on that, and my ship just kept flying out and then going back to Galorndon. So there's still a little bit of bugs going on. And this is actually my first time going to New Romulus, so I think this is where I need to be. Beam to Command Center. So I think this is where I'm going. Because I don't think New Romulus is actually up and running yet in this timeline. So yeah, anyways, I keep getting distracted. I apologize, and I'm kind of babbling a little bit. But it looks a lot like the fleet, the decor on the fleet, but still kind of cool. And ooh, this is nice. I wonder if this looks a little bit like the embassy, but not quite the same. Very cool. What do we got? Bank. The exchange. Alright, so this is the equivalent of... This is basically the equivalent of Earth Space Dock, I believe. Alright. We got equipment, tech crafting, physical crafting. Ah. Okay, they're just shops, but they call it crafting instead of Alright, cool. Alright, so yeah, vendors, I'm not going to worry too much about all this. Where is... Okay, all the way on the other side, of course. So, yeah, it's just, as I was saying, it's nice to play a race, a faction, or whatever that... How do I... Oh, around the corner here. I'm dumb. It's nice to play a faction that is combat oriented. So that way I can go in and blow stuff up and not feel bad. The end. Alright, I'm done with that. Yeah, it's one of those nights. I apologize. Okay, this is where I need to be. Center. Oh, I'm right there. You will receive. Oh, cool! It even tells you who you get. Neat. All right. So. Duty officers. Yeah, one nice thing that they did is they redid the duty officer system a little bit. And they put the symbol of the race up in the corner, the upper right corner of the portrait. So this will make it a little less, a little harder to accidentally buy the wrong duty officer, because that was one of the problems. Is there was a lot of DOFs, especially for the DOFs that you can get for both. Like, you know, you can get Klingons for both Alliance and Federation, and then especially for things like Cardassians and whatnot. The handful of races that applied to both factions, and it was really easy to accidentally buy one, not realizing that, oh, this is a Klingon DOF, not a Federation DOF. And there was a few times I did that and found out the hard way that, oh, why can't I slot this guy? Oh, well, that's why. All right. Overall, I generally really like the decor. Unfortunately, my graphics settings are a little crappy, so things like this board on the back look really awful. Hopefully it's just my graphics settings, and hopefully that's not how it actually looks, that pixelated. And if it is how it looks, that's something that they will fix. All right. So, anyways, I got my guys. I just wanted to check that out a little bit. Kind of cool. You got all Romulan dudes. And let's see. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call this one now, so that way it doesn't get too late. We'll get out of system first. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up now, and maybe record another one after this. But all right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Yay, we got past that mission. I've been, you know, I got into the beta right away. I leveled my character up real quick. I was doing these recordings, and then hit that brick wall, hit a bug, couldn't complete the quest, couldn't get past that area. Part of it was my own stupidity for deleting the wrong ship, but whatever. We will. Alright, so we're past that, and we will continue on. So thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and have a good one. We'll see you next time.